반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
After watching the drama Cinderella Game, many people might be wondering if Eugene is really alive. While some viewers know about Lee Hana and Lee Duna, they might still be confused about who Lee Sena is. I'm going to explain the shocking secrets that even the most attentive viewers might have missed. Let's start with the truth about Eugene. Every time Shin Yeojin saw Eunchong, she felt a deep emotion. Eunchong looked so much like Eugene, and everything she did reminded Shin Yeojin of her lost daughter. Every time she looked at Eunchong, her eyes would fill with tears. But Shin Yeojin had to hide her feelings for Eunchong because of the plan she was carrying out. It wasn't easy, and Jang Biso warned her to be careful. She told her that showing too much affection could make others suspicious, especially people like Choi Myung-ji and Yoon Se-young. Shin Yeojin listened to her and tried to focus more on Guhana instead. But even then, Yoon Se-young began to act suspiciously around Guhana. One night, while Guhana was out, Yoon Se-young sneaked into her room. Among the fancy furniture and family pictures, Yoon Se-young found a photo of Eunchong, Guhana, and Eugene. Eunchong's smile was so similar to Eugene's that it made Yoon Se-young feel uneasy. She stared at the photo for a long time, confused about why it felt so familiar, but before she could figure it out, Guhana caught her. Meanwhile, Shin Yeojin followed Jang Biso's advice. She spent more time with Guhana, trying to form a closer bond by giving her gifts and sharing meals. Guhana began to trust Shin Yeojin more, believing her to be like a mother. One day, they went to a fancy restaurant. The atmosphere was beautiful with marble floors and a shining chandelier. As they enjoyed their meal, Shin Yeojin suddenly froze. She saw a woman in the distance who looked exactly like Eugene. Shocked, Shin Yeojin stood up and called out, "Eugene!" Guhana was confused by this, especially since she believed she was Eugene. It made her wonder if Shin Yeojin was hiding something from her. But the woman wasn't Eugene at all. She had been hired by Choi Myung-ji to confuse Shin Yeojin and make her question her memories. That night, Guhana couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Shin Yeojin's reaction and started to doubt her own identity. What if I'm not Eugene? She thought, but she tried to convince herself that couldn't be true. Still, her doubts didn't go away. Eventually, Guhana realized she wasn't Eugene. Hurt by the lies from Shin Yeojin and Hwang Jin Goo, she decided to find out the truth. Hwang Jin Goo finally told her everything, that Shin Yeojin was Eunchong's real grandmother and everything they had done was to protect Eunchong. Though Hwang Jin Goo's words were honest, Guhana couldn't just forgive them. But when she looked at Eunchong, she decided to accept the truth. She wasn't Eugene, but she would continue pretending for Eunchong's sake. Determined to learn more, Guhana began investigating Choi Myung-ji and Yoon Se-young's past. She found proof that they were responsible for the accident that killed Eugene. With help from Hwang Jin Goo and Shin Yeojin, Guhana turned their plans against them and exposed their crimes. Choi Myung-ji and Yoon Se-young tried to cover it all up, but Guhana bravely confronted them, revealing their lies. In the end, they were punished, and Guhana started a new life with Eunchong, finding happiness in his company. Shin Yeojin also found some comfort by being with her grandson. Now, let's clear up some things about Eugene. Eugene was actually Lee Duna, and Choi Myung-ji and Yoon Se-young were responsible for her death, making it look like a hit-and-run accident. Many people wondered if Eugene might still alive, but sadly, she's already passed away, and Guhana held a funeral for her. So when Shin Yeojin saw Eugene, it was just a hallucination. It wasn't really Eugene, but rather the moment when Guhana started to discover the truth about Shin Yeojin's lies. So the idea that Eugene is alive is not true. Finally, there's the misery of Lee Sena. Some have suggested that Lee Sena was another person, or that Eugene had a twin sister. But that's not true. Lee Sena is actually a butterfly from the orphanage where Guhana and Eugene once met. The name Lee Sena represents hope, symbolizing how Guhana and Eugene dream of flying free one day. Though Eugene is gone, the butterfly stands for the hope that Guhana and Shin Yeojin, despite their pain, will overcome everything, bring Choi Myung-ji and Yoon Se-young to justice, and move on to a happier future.
'Cause you are beautiful, a beautiful stranger.